There's the irony. So there's your ultimate irony. What the irony of the UK acknowledging the Palestinian state is Palestine says, hey, you owe us $2 trillion for when you occupied us. The big news is that the UK, there's a couple of countries right now, UK, I think Canada even, Canada, Australia, and the UK recognized Palestine statehood. So that's the big news, right? So Medea Benjamin tweets out, so there it is. The UK recognizes the Palestinian state. That's Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK. And Medea Benjamin says the UK recognizes Palestinian state, but will continue to arm Israel as it obliterates Palestinians. Okay, well, but guess what? Mel, Village Crazy Lady, who I also met at the awards, lovely lady, she says, so the UK announced it's going to recognize the Palestinian statehood, and immediately afterwards, ISIS calls on Muslims in the UK to attack Christians and Jews in retaliations for the Israel's war on Gaza. So they're not asking them to attack the Jews inside Israel. They're asking them to attack Christians and Jews inside the UK. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I don't. First of all, I think what Keir Starmer misunderstood what it means to recognize Palestine as a state. It doesn't mean you can point it out on a map. Okay, just so you know,
that's not what target acquisition with the weapons you get.
Yeah. So, there it is. ISIS is calling for Muslims to retaliate, but not inside Israel, inside the UK. I mean, I don't approve of ISIS's anti-Semitism, but at least they have the decency not to attack Israel.
Yeah.
You know, unlike Tucker Carlson.
Unlike Candace and Tucker, they have the decency.
They have the decency
when it's having the fight of its life.
The fight of its life right now. ISIS, out of respect, does not attack Israel.
Yeah.
But it tells people to attack Christians and Jews inside the UK. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Israel's in a bad way right now, Kurt, with their economy being held together by propaganda and blackmail. So you'd think ISIS would strike them, right? But no.
Traditionally in war, that would be the time.
That would be the time to strike them. But no, ISIS being gentlemen.
Yeah,
they're being gentlemen right now. Good for them. ISIS are gentlemen. That's why one of their sister terror organizations, al-Qaeda, is the head of Syria right now, who just met with Petraeus in the United States.
I think he was in both great clubs.
So blowing up Christian gatherings, that's what they want them to do. Blow up. Hey, that's plagiarism. They stole that idea from Israel. Am I wrong?
If you blew up Christian churches. So
Mel says, I'm sorry, but only total idiots can't see who and what ISIS actually is by now. So ISIS and al-Qaeda invented by the United States and Israel. Just so you know.
Who even brings them up anymore?
So just so you know, they were completely invented. And that's why ISIS, their fighters, the Israeli doctors will treat them. Did you know that? Yes. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Their beheading, when they hurt their beheading hand?
When they hurt their beheading hand. So look, and she links to this. ISIS calls on UK Muslim youth to attack Christians' gatherings in a horror plot.
Is that a rap group? UK Muslim youth?
I think so. A chilling message from ISIS has emerged, urging young Muslims to target Christians and Jewish gatherings. It's almost like a Hannibal directive. So here it is. ISIS has called on young Muslims people to attack gatherings of Christians and Jewish people, including in the UK. The Al-Naba publication shows the terror group said the attack should be considered as revenge for Israeli attacks against Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. But don't attack Israel inside Israel.
Al-Naba said that? Is that in the same plaza as Elliot Higgins bullshit thing? Are they in the same? They have a podcast in the same building?
I mean, if these flags were any more false, they'd have boob implants, okay? Hey, by the way, weren't the waves of migrants from countries that the UK helped blow up, weren't they already doing this?
Were they already doing machete crimes while they arrest people for tweets?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Also, ISIS is calling on young people. What young people? No one younger than Sean Hannity still gives a shit about ISIS, for FYI.
Yeah. I mean, that's some real top down. That's really like old school propaganda. That's like Netanyahu. That's how you know Netanyahu, by the way, is that's a reference that only Zionist boomers still remember or give a shit about. Nobody cares about ISIS.
Here's Kit Clarenberg, friend of the show, who I think did I see him? Did I meet him? I think I did.
Click Clarenberg?
Interesting British intel ran a secret program to improve understanding of the role of Palestinian issues in radicalization. Was it to create their own proxy army in West Asia?
Oh, do you think?
So there it is. The aim of this assignment is to improve understanding of the role of Palestinian issues in radicalization and provide the analytical basis for targeted CVE interventions. Our focus in this assignment will be on addressing the gaps in our understanding through.
So we make terrorists around the world, Jimmy. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Think about the terrible tragedies we saw recently and the supposed homegrown terrorists. Do you think they were not created by your government?
So the UK were involved in creating ISIS as a proxy. Kind of like how the UK did with Israel. Completely created it.
Soft power from now on. Israel, you handle these.
So this is from what's wrong with that? How Israel trained and armed an ISIS-linked Gaza militia. We just covered this last Friday. We discovered
what's wrong with that? Bill Maher?
That Israel is paying ISIS-linked militias, so ISIS, to do some of their dirty work in Gaza. So ISIS is doing dirty work to the Palestinians, but not inside Israel. But they're also calling for violence inside the UK, but again, not inside Israel. So really, Mel has got it.
After UK recognized Palestine,
yes,
now violence on UK Christians.
Yeah,
I mean, step up the current violence from the people escaping ISIS who are mad.
Here, ISIS fighters attack Israel. This is from 2017. Just to let you know how this works. ISIS fighters attacked Israel Defense Forces unit, then apologized, claims former commander. So do you get how this... That's why Mark Twain said you shouldn't lie, then you don't have to remember anything. You can't tell morons to lie for you. They'll blow it, like the Mossad honeypot in a blue dress, like that kind of thing. So, and by the way, they should apologize for, ISIS should have apologized because attacking them was very anti-Semitic.
That's true.
So here is, Dissident Media did a short thread kind of explaining this. It says the strategy never changes, just the players. Create a boogeyman, directly facilitate or allow them to attack by turning a blind eye, and then leverage the chaos to expand the footprint of your oil empire. So that's what this is all about.
Or using BLM to do the same thing in America to deindustrialize you and send your jobs
out.
And then a disease to change things forever, and now you can't have a house.
Here's another one. CIA created ISIS, says Julian Assange, as WikiLeaks releases 500,000 U.S. cables.
Well, he's really anti-Semitic. I don't trust him.
So there's that. Zero Hedge headline, secret Pentagon report reveals U.S. created ISIS as a tool to overthrow Syrian President Assad.
It's not a secret if you tell us.
And then they did it. And then now the head of al-Qaeda, who used to have a $10 million bounty on his head, is now head of Syria, meeting today with General Petraeus.
By the way, who's ISIL? Remember it was ISIL sometimes?
It was ISIL. They switched the name. It was ISIS, then ISIL.
And then the guy from ISIS changed his name.
Yes, that's right. The guy from ISIS changed his name.
Diddy. He used to be Puffy.
That's right. Iran blames U.S. for creating ISIS amid worsening Middle East tensions. Okay, just
that's why we had to take out that General Soleimani, because he fought ISIS, and we wanted ISIS to do our work in Syria for us.
Here's this one. Israel buys most oil smuggled from ISIS territory. No kidding.
That's weird. ISIS, what if you sabotage the oil that you send to Israel instead of going after the UK, which is really far away from you?
Isn't that weird? It's nice, though, that Israel is always there to lend a severed hand. How Israel went from helping create Hamas to bombing it. It's the same story.
Yeah. They make the problem, they go and bomb it, then they put on their women's clothes and go on.
It's kind of like how the United States used 9/11 to go in and overthrow Saddam Hussein, to go in, and they used that fighting terrorism to go into Iraq. Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11. They used that to go into Afghanistan for 20 years. Iraq, overthrow it. They used it to go into Syria. They used it to go into Libya. They used it to go into Yemen, Somalia. They've used it nonstop.
Jimmy, it was never Iraq. The great Noah Tishby, the Hasbra chick, said to Tim Dillon, no, we said it was always Iran. She said that. Yeah. That chick said, Noah Tishby. She goes, it was always Iran. I couldn't believe the stones on this broad.
And so get this. So the UK has now officially recognized Palestine as a state. Now, what you have to remember is that the UK occupied Palestine from 1917 to 1948 when Israel was created.
Because they created it.
So it was the Balfour Declaration that gave Palestine to create Israel. Now, the problem with that is the UK didn't own Palestine. They were occupying it, just like Israel's occupying it now.
Right, and it wasn't good for them, so they wanted to have a proxy, a cutout, if you will, an Elliot Higgins on the ground.
That's right.
To keep control, and the Saudi royal family, that Wahhabism, the terrible Islam, that's from England as well. All the things wrong over there are from England.
From UK. So Basil the Great tweets out, Palestine demands reparations from the UK now. So Palestine is now demanding reparations. So you've recognized us as a state? Well, under the UN Charter, they're now allowed to sue whoever occupied them. So Palestinians, they're going to ask for $2 trillion. Why? Palestine has officially been registered as a state.
Recognized
as a state. So Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas has demanded reparations in accordance with international law based on the value of the land, which was under British rule from 1917 to 1948. This whole thing has been a disaster.
Yeah.
So there it is.
I would agree.
So I hope you're getting how this works. So this is not. So that's kind of funny to see that happened.
That's immediately.
That's kind of funny to see.
Well, maybe they'll try to leverage not arming Israel anymore or something clever. I don't know. But look at this cokehead next to Mahmoud Abbas. Look at him. He's got this like. Yeah.
There's the irony. So there's your ultimate irony. What the irony of the UK acknowledging the Palestinian state is Palestine says, "Hey, you owe us $2 trillion for when you occupied us." And why wouldn't they? Because the UK is still sending bombs and weapons and supporting Israel's genocide even though they acknowledge them as a state. Even
though they're tied up in Ukraine, where are they getting these extra bombs to pass Israel?
You tell me. So here's a great. So there you go. So I hope everybody understands that's fun. We invented ISIS. We invented al-Qaeda, meaning the United States, CIA, and the Mossad, Israel. So that's confirmed. And now as soon as they recognize them as a state, ISIS calls for attacks inside the UK, although we know that's Israel calling for that. So it's all about a false flag, just like 9/11. So they used 9/11 so we could go in and do Israel's bidding in all those countries that they wanted us to overthrow. We did it. And the next is Iran. We bombed Iran already. So that's funny. But I also want to mention, I'll see you in Hermosa Beach, by the way, if you want to hear me tell jokes about this. See you in Hermosa Beach on October 2nd. Then I'll be in Sacramento and San Francisco, October 4th, October 5th. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Sam Altman said ChatGPT will get to know you over your life. ChatGPT has the former director of the NSA sitting on their board right now. Edward Snowden called this a willful, calculated betrayal of the rights of every person on Earth. Alexa listens to us and recommends products based on our conversations. Meta retargets us based on our browsing and engagement history. Why do we assume AI is going to be any different? I don't. Introducing Venice AI. Venice AI lets you use AI without handing over your sensitive information. Venice utilizes leading open source AI models to deliver text, code, and image generation to your web browser. There's no downloads, no installations of anything. They don't spy on you or censor. The AI messages are all encrypted. And your conversation history is stored only in your browser. AI can be extremely valuable, but we shouldn't need to give up our privacy to use it. Their Pro plan unlocks the full platform and features including PDF uploads for summaries of or insights, the ability to turn off safe mode for unhindered image generation, the ability to change how Venice interacts with you by modifying the system prompt, limitless text, and high image limits. So, for instance, I'm going to ask it to do something Grok won't do for me. So I'm going to switch from the text. I'm going to switch to image. Please generate an image of a baby being vaccinated. Now that's something I couldn't get Grok to do. Isn't that weird?
Why? Is that a healthy, good thing?
You would think, oh, here it is. So they just did it for me. So there it is. So that's Venice AI just did it. So if you want to use AI without fear of handing over your most intimate thoughts to a corporation or the government, you can get 20% off a pro plan using the link venice.ai/Jimmy and use the code Jimmy. Come see me on tour in Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco, Melbourne, Australia, Sydney, Australia, Brisbane, Burbank, California the day after Thanksgiving, and Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.